It's dinner time at the Naval Submarine Base New London, and culinary specialist First Class Alan Williford is scrambling around a kitchen about the size of your typical break room. He's boiling lobsters, splitting them down the middle, removing all the meat, then stuffing the tails with a lobster meat custard. The Lobster Thermidor, one of 7 courses he'll serve tonight, is ready for plating. This isn't some 5-star restaurant on the surface, this is submarine cooking at its finest, where chefs create gourmet masterpieces in conditions that would break most professional cooks. Virginia-class attack submarines house 135 crew members who depend on a small team of culinary specialists to produce 540 meals a day. But here's what makes submarine cooking extraordinary. These aren't your average Navy cooks heating up MRES in a mess hall. These are elite culinary professionals who create restaurant-quality dining experiences hundreds of feet underwater, often in contested waters where enemy forces lurk just beyond sonar range. The life of a U.S. Navy submariner is not easy. These sailors live for months in a steel tube cruising through freezing cold water, surrounded by explosives, flammable materials, and nuclear weapons. In peacetime, they risk terrible accidents. In wartime, they risk being hunted to destruction by enemy ships and helicopters. But they eat famously well, better than almost anyone else in the military. These submarine chefs work miracles in galley spaces so cramped that only 3 people can fit comfortably. They prepare 7-course meals with lobster, prime rib, and gourmet sauces using equipment that would seem laughably inadequate to any civilian chef. They do this while their kitchen pitches and rolls through 3 dimensions, where one unexpected movement can send hours of preparation crashing to the deck. This is how America's most elite culinary specialists transform the world's most dangerous kitchen into an underwater fine dining experience. The path to becoming a submarine chef begins with a selection process that goes far beyond basic cooking skills. These aren't ordinary recruits learning to flip burgers. They're future culinary artists being groomed for one of the military's most demanding and prestigious cooking positions. After completing basic Navy training, aspiring submarine culinary specialists face a rigorous 3-week specialized school that teaches everything from advanced food safety protocols to the psychology of feeding crews under extreme stress. But here's where submarine cooking truly separates itself from every other military culinary program. Selected submarine cooks are sent for another 5 months at the prestigious Culinary Institute of America. Yes, the same CIA that has produced some of the world's most celebrated chefs. While their surface fleet counterparts learn basic military food service, these underwater culinary elites study alongside future restaurant owners, hotel executive chefs, and cookbook authors. They master knife techniques that would impress Gordon Ramsay, learn sauce preparations that belong in Michelin-starred restaurants, and develop plating skills that transform military rations into works of art. The CIA training transforms these sailors from cooks into legitimate chefs. They study everything from molecular gastronomy to wine pairing, from farm to table sourcing to advanced baking techniques. By the time they complete this intensive program, they possess culinary credentials that rival graduates of the world's finest cooking schools. Many instructors are amazed to discover that some of their most dedicated and skilled students are military personnel who will take their talents beneath the ocean's surface. Even after this world-class education, the learning never stops. Navy submarine cooks can get additional training at local restaurants where they work alongside professional chefs in commercial kitchens. Picture this, a submarine culinary specialist spending his shore leave working the line at a high-end steakhouse, learning techniques he'll later adapt for use in a galley smaller than most home kitchens. Some submarines even arrange for professional chefs to come aboard and teach cooking classes inside the actual galley, bringing restaurant-level expertise directly into the submarine environment. The result of this extensive training pipeline is remarkable. By the time they're finished with their education, they're pretty much chefs. Not military cooks, not food service workers, but legitimate culinary professionals who happen to work underwater. They understand flavor profiles, cooking temperatures, presentation techniques, and food chemistry at a level that would surprise most civilian diners. These are the people responsible for creating dining experiences that can rival fine restaurants, all while submerged hundreds of feet below enemy waters, operating in conditions that would challenge the world's most experienced chefs. Step into a Virginia-class submarine galley and prepare to have your mind blown by the sheer impossibility of what happens here. This culinary operation manages an inventory that would make a small restaurant jealous. 1,500 pounds of ribeye rolled beef, 1,000 pounds of ground beef, 900 pounds of chicken breast, 300 pounds of bacon, 5,500 pounds of flour, 2,500 pounds of sugar, and more than 1,000 pounds of coffee that brews perpetually. All of this stored in a space so confined that crew members literally walk on top of canned goods until they eat their way down to the deck plates. Now imagine trying to create gourmet meals with this massive inventory, using equipment that seems designed to frustrate professional chefs. There's no traditional stove because pots would fly all over the place when the submarine maneuvers. Instead, submarine chefs work with fixed kettles that can hold anything and heat up under controlled conditions. The galley has 2 industrial ovens and 1 flat grill top, but the entire kitchen space can fit only about 3 people comfortably. It's split into 2 sides, one for food service attendants to wash dishes and clean up, the other for the actual cooking magic to happen. The real challenge isn't the cramped space or limited equipment, it's the constant motion. Picture preparing a delicate sauce reduction while your kitchen suddenly tilts at a 30-degree angle. Imagine plating an elegant 7-course meal when the submarine makes an unexpected dive or surfaces rapidly. As one submarine chef put it, when the boat makes an unexpected movement, then all of a sudden your hard work is on the deck. Every meal becomes an exercise in physics, timing, and pure culinary artistry. Yet somehow, in these impossible conditions, submarine chefs create dining experiences that would impress guests at high-end restaurants. They prepare fresh Lobster Thermidor with meat custard, perfectly grilled steaks with complex sauce reductions, and elaborate appetizer presentations that require precision plating techniques. They bake fresh bread daily, create dessert masterpieces, and maintain a salad bar that stays fresh for weeks at sea. The logistics alone are staggering. Food storage must be distributed throughout the submarine to maintain proper weight balance, meaning ingredients for a single meal might be stored in 5 different compartments. Fresh ingredients are consumed first, followed by frozen, then canned and dried goods that must last for months without resupply. Every meal requires careful planning, precise timing, and the ability to adapt instantly when operational requirements change the submarine's position or angle. Its molecular gastronomy meets military precision, executed in a space smaller than most food truck kitchens. In the bizarre world of submarine operations, food becomes both a comfort and psychological weapon. There's perhaps no better example than the infamous halfway night, the celebration marking the halfway point of deployment. This isn't just another meal, it's a full-scale culinary extravaganza featuring lobster tail and prime rib or New York strip steak, accompanied by elaborate festivities that raise money for the submarine's recreation fund. Picture crew members eating restaurant-quality surf and turf while floating beneath Arctic ice or prowling enemy waters thousands of miles from home. But submarine chefs take special occasion dining to levels that would impress guests at 5-star restaurants. They prepare 7-course meals that include oysters on the half-shell, mixed green salads with arugula and bacon vinaigrette, French onion soup, and the crown jewel, Lobster Thermidor. This isn't some simplified military version. We're talking about authentic lobster meat custard stuffed back into split lobster tails, prepared with the same precision and presentation standards as the finest seafood restaurants. All of this happens in a kitchen where you can touch both walls by stretching your arms out. The most incredible example of submarine culinary excellence happened during a mission to the North Pole, where one submarine chef recalled serving steak and lobster while surrounded by polar ice. Imagine the surreal experience, crew members dining on gourmet cuisine while their submarine operates in one of Earth's most remote and hostile environments. The contrast is almost absurd, enjoying restaurant-quality Lobster Thermidor while nuclear submarines navigate beneath polar ice caps, thousands of miles from civilization. But there's a darker side to these luxury meals that reveals the unique psychology of submarine warfare, as one experienced submarine chef explained with dark humor. Steak and lobster usually means you're about to be extended or Something bad is going to happen, so that's how they break the bad news. It's a twisted military tradition. The better the food, the worse the news that's coming. Crew members have learned to interpret gourmet meals as potential warnings of extended deployments, dangerous missions, or operational changes that will keep them underwater longer than originally planned. This psychological aspect of submarine cooking adds another layer of complexity to an already demanding job. These chefs must balance their role as culinary artists with their function as morale officers and occasionally the unwitting messengers of difficult news. They understand that their food does more than nourish. It communicates, comforts, and sometimes serves as the final luxury before missions that push the boundaries of human endurance and submarine capabilities. The elite training and extraordinary experience gained aboard nuclear submarines creates career opportunities that most civilian chefs can only dream about. After they leave the Navy, many submarine culinary specialists go on to cook in fancy hotels, restaurants, and even the White House. In fact, the White House usually has at least one former submarine cook among its culinary staff, bringing their unique blend of precision, creativity, and ability to work under extreme pressure to one of the world's most prestigious kitchens. This pipeline from the submarine galley to White House kitchen isn't accidental. The skills required to create gourmet meals in a space the size of a closet while managing inventory for months without resupply translate perfectly to high-pressure civilian culinary environments. These chefs understand resource management, menu planning under constraints, and the psychology of feeding people in stressful situations, skills that make them invaluable in everything from luxury hotels to disaster relief operations. Current submarine culinary specialists can even serve in the White House while still on active duty, operating the White House mess for the President of the United States. Imagine transitioning from preparing lobster thermidor beneath Arctic waters to cooking for foreign dignitaries in the West Wing. The precision, security clearance requirements, and ability to maintain composure under pressure make submarine chefs natural candidates for these prestigious assignments. But the career complexity of submarine culinary specialists extends far beyond cooking. Take Alan Williford, for example. His responsibilities include not just creating 7-course meals, but also serving as a submarine diver and rescue swimmer and volunteering at the local fire department. As he explains, "There's little more on my plate than just cooking. Submarines are small communities. There are a lot of jobs to go around and not a lot of people to fill them. These aren't just chefs. They're multi-skilled specialists who can switch from preparing French onion soup to conducting underwater rescue operations." The financial rewards reflect this elite status. Submarine duty comes with special pay incentives, including submarine duty incentive pay up to $1,000 per month, plus various bonuses for specialized skills. When combined with free health care, housing allowances, and educational benefits, submarine culinary specialists often earn compensation packages that rival civilian executive chefs, all while gaining experience that opens doors to the most exclusive kitchens in America. Perhaps most remarkably, many of these culinary specialists maintain their commitment to excellence even at home. They become fitness leaders for their commands, test new recipes on their families, and continue pushing culinary boundaries. Their spouses become their toughest critics, and their children become guinea pigs for dishes that will eventually appear on submarine menus hundreds of feet underwater. In the depths of the world's oceans, where sunlight never penetrates and the pressure could crush a human body in seconds, America's submarine chefs perform daily miracles that challenge everything we think we know about cooking. They transform impossibly cramped spaces into world-class kitchens, creating dining experiences that rival the finest restaurants while operating in conditions that would break most professional chefs. These aren't just military food service workers. They're culinary artists who happen to work in the most dangerous kitchen on Earth. The paradox is almost overwhelming. While enemy submarines prowl nearby waters and hostile forces search for their location, these chefs are inside preparing lobster thermidor with meat custard, plating 7-course meals with the precision of Michelin-starred establishments, and ensuring that fresh bread bakes daily for 135 crew members who depend on their skills not just for nutrition, but for sanity. In a world where privacy doesn't exist and personal space is measured in inches, the galley becomes a sanctuary of creativity and comfort that keeps crews psychologically grounded during months of underwater isolation. Consider the sheer audacity of what happens here. Trained Culinary Institute of America graduates working in spaces smaller than most home kitchens, managing inventories that include 1,500 pounds of ribeye beef and 1,000 pounds of coffee, creating restaurant-quality presentations while their workspace tilts at impossible angles and moves through 3 dimensions. When civilian chefs complain about kitchen space or equipment limitations, submarine culinary specialists are proving that exceptional food is possible anywhere, even when your dining room is a steel tube surrounded by nuclear weapons and enemy waters. The skills these chefs develop transcend normal culinary training. They master resource management under extreme constraints, learn to read the psychology of crews under stress, and develop an almost supernatural to create beauty and comfort in hostile environments. They understand that their work affects national security, that well-fed submarine crews perform better, make fewer mistakes, and maintain the mental resilience necessary for missions that protect American interests worldwide. A perfectly executed halfway night celebration isn't just good food. It's a morale operation that can determine mission success. The career trajectories of these culinary specialists reveal the true scope of their expertise. From submarine galleys to White House kitchens, from underwater Arctic operations to serving foreign dignitaries, they carry skills that transfer seamlessly to the most prestigious civilian positions. Hotel executive chefs, restaurant owners, and even presidential culinary staff, many trace their foundational training to those impossibly cramped submarine galleys where they learn to create excellence under pressure. But perhaps the most remarkable aspect of submarine culinary operations is how they redefine our understanding of hospitality itself. These chefs work in an environment where a single mistake could endanger 135 lives, where operational security requires absolute precision, and where the nearest grocery store might be thousands of miles away. Yet they create experiences that crew members remember for decades. The taste of perfectly prepared prime rib while surfacing through polar ice, the comfort of fresh-baked bread during extended deployments, the psychological boost of an elegant 7-course meal before a dangerous mission. The dark humor surrounding steak and lobster meals reveals another dimension of their work. These chefs become unwitting participants in the psychological games of military command. They learn to read the meaning behind menu changes, understand that their most elaborate creations sometimes signal the most challenging missions ahead. They master the delicate balance between creating comfort and recognizing that exceptional meals can carry ominous implications for crew assignments and deployment extensions. In an age of food television and celebrity chefs, submarine culinary specialists remain largely invisible to the public. There are no cookbook deals, no television shows, no Instagram fame for these masters of underwater cuisine. Their dining rooms seat only 30 people at a time. Their kitchens exist in classified locations. And their most impressive achievements happen hundreds of feet beneath the ocean surface where no cameras are allowed. Yet their legacy extends far beyond the meals they create. They prove that culinary excellence isn't limited by space, equipment, or circumstances, only by imagination and skill. They demonstrate that comfort and beauty can exist anywhere humans are willing to create them. Most importantly, they remind us that even in the world's most dangerous and isolated environments, the simple act of preparing a perfect meal remains one of humanity's most profound expressions of care, creativity, and resilience. The next time you enjoy a restaurant meal, remember the submarine chefs creating Lobster Thermidor in spaces the size of closets, hundreds of feet underwater, surrounded by the constant possibility of danger. They represent the ultimate fusion of culinary artistry and military precision, America's most elite chefs, operating in kitchens that exist beyond the boundaries of what most people believe possible.